Hey guys, it's Music Elias here today, and I'm back with another video. Now, today's video, I'm gonna be reviewing Citizen Soldier's album slash EP, Caroline. Now, this EP it's not an actual album; it's an EP. I'm just gonna call it an album review. Just for simplifications. But this is an EP, which are usually just promotional, kind of albums that have like usually around like 5 to 6 songs. And this one has 5 songs, so there's not too many to get into. So let's get into the first one. Buried Alive was the first song on this EP. I think this song was great. It was a nice introduction. It was showcasing, because this album or EP is actually about a situation that happened to the main artist's life, where he had a friend named Caroline who basically committed suicide, and he made this whole little EP as a tribute to her. And these songs are about depression and mental illness and mental health, and going through what she was dealing with, and explaining it. And Buried Alive showcased very well how depression affects people, and how it was affecting her, taking antidepressants, and just moping. And because that's what happens when you get depressed. You start to mope, and you get very down on yourself, and you just lose a bunch of your energy. So it was just showcasing through how she was feeling on the emotional side, and the damage it was doing to her, all these other problems like ADHD, anxiety, all these other stuff. And it was covering a bunch of serious and important topics. So I really like that about the song. I think it was very deep, and it was a very nice message to a friend that ended up taking their own life. Then we had the second song on this album, which is the title of this album itself, Caroline. This song was also great. This song was basically like a continuation of the first one, whereas the first one was more explaining her mental, health problems and what she was dealing with mentally. This one was still had some mental. It was like touching about some mental issues, but it also talked about the physical problems that she dealt with. Because she did have an abusive, boyfriend, or who I think husband or whatever, most likely a boyfriend. She was in an abusive relationship, and you see it how he's treating her, and he's just getting drunk and stuff. So it makes sense not only on a mental aspect but also on a physical aspect. The pain she was going through and the trauma. And then the song was him singing about why did you end in, like, also trying to, as a friend, trying to understand what they were going through, like, oh, they were so strong to be able to fight it, but why did you have to take your own life and stuff. And then also singing about, like, God, is there a God, and why didn't you save Caroline, especially towards the ending. He changed it from save her to save Caroline, which was really great. It was nice. Like I said, it was showcasing more of personally what she was dealing with, so you can understand the problems. And then trying to understand also throughout the song why she did what she did and what she was going through. Then we had the third song on this album, Soldier. Personally, I didn't really like it. It didn't really speak to me too much. Like I said, if you guys like it, it's fine. But for me personally, it didn't really grab my attention. There was nothing really thought-provoking in that song. There was nothing really that blew me away. I think that song was an average okay song. I didn't really care about it too much. And then the next song on this album, 15 Minutes of Fame, which was my personal favorite song on this album. Not only did I like the song the most out of this album, but out of all the songs that I've listened to from this band. Though I haven't listened to too many songs from this band, I do still think that this is my favorite. Who knows, maybe somewhere down the line in the future I might like another one better than this one, but I really like this one. It was just up my alley perfectly. Everything about it, the instrumentals, the vocals, to the lyrics, everything was very, sad and depressing, and that's the type of music I really enjoy. The instrumentals are a lot more somber, a lot more, emotional, and the vocals were a lot more powerful. You can feel, the pain he was going through and the struggle, and trying to connect with others that have dealt with this and ended up ending their life. So I really loved this song. I think the song was very, very powerful. It was very moving, and it was very touching. It was a very great song. I just loved everything about it. The lyrics were perfect. It touched very well. I loved the message behind this one. Then we had Let It Burn, which is the final song on this album. Now, unfortunately for me, I reacted to this song before I got into the whole album situation, but it's fine, I would have loved to, listen to that as the last song from the album. It's fine if I did it before, I got into the album as a whole. But Let It Burn was also a really great one, which it was suggested to me by Leon Mislovic. he told me to, you know, check out this song because it was his favorite, and I really like the song. I think it was very well put together. Everything about it was really great, especially towards the ending, the emotional part where he was singing and putting, you know, all the emotion in it. You can definitely feel it. It was a very powerful song. It was very well put together. Everything about it was really perfect, but I still like 15 Minutes of Fame the most out of the entire album. I still think it was my personal favorite, but I can definitely see why he liked that song. That song was actually really dope. But this album as a whole was really, really good. Only one song of it I think I didn't really like that much, but the rest of the songs I really loved. I loved, you know, the message and the direction. And though the situation is very sad, it is at least very beautiful to see, you know, this guy who's friends with this person making a tribute album to that person. That's just a really great thing to see, you know. But yeah, this album was pretty decent. I would put it around like 8.5 to maybe 9 out of 10. It was a really good EP. It was, like I said, EPs are short. They're only 5 songs. So it's going to be hard to, you know, say, you know, put in a medium range, because with only 5 songs, it's hard to get medium. You can either get really good or really bad, and luckily for me, this one was really good. I can't wait to check out their second you know, album, a full-length album, not just an EP. I can't wait to check that and the direction they go in that one. But for right now, I want to focus on my you know, I want to focus on Ice Nine Kills album, The Silver Scream. Once I'm done with that and do my album review with that, then I'll get into my Black Veil Bride album. I'll need to finish that second album. I'll need to finish that, do the album review for that, and then I'll do the second album for this band. Though I really want to check it out, there's just so much music and so many albums that I want to check out before, you know, that I have ideas of, and this might be getting pushed a little bit further back, so I'm sorry for that. But you know, I have so many other songs that I want to check out, and so many other songs or albums that have been requested to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this album review. I really like this album. I don't really have much else to say about it. It's a pretty solid, you know, 8.5 to 9 out of 10 album. It has some really great songs. 15 Minutes of Fame, not only was it my favorite, you know, Citizen Soldier song, but I would consider my favorite Citizen Soldier song, but also I really just like that song in general. I think it's one of my top songs out of, like, you know, all the music that I've listened to. I wouldn't say it's number one, but it's definitely up there, you know, in my top tier list. So yeah, this was a great EP, great start for, you know, this band and showcasing where they can go, and it can only get better from you know, from this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next time.